Perhaps the most progressive take-part learning programme was Speaking Up, designed to benefit families and communities through personal development. The NOCN accredited courses take learners from entry-level workshops in confidence building and communication skills through to a Level 2 certificate exploring citizenship, human rights, democracy and diversity. Take Part worked with local Sure Start centres and developed relationships with local religious and BME communities. The format of active learning is especially accessible to people for whom English is not a first language, and for people who don't have an academic background.
It's different to a normal classroom because we do three things. We do role playing, we do the cafe, and we just relax. And because we have fun along the way, we seem to get on so much better and we seem to learn more. I know it sounds silly, but it's a cliche really, and it works.
The course is accessible because it's local to all the parents that are doing it, with free childcare, which is great.
You know, Olivia comes with me here and she enjoys that as well. So, you know, it's built her confidence, I think, in that type of environment, and she sees me doing something, she asks me what I'm doing, I say I'm going to do work, and they take an interest, and then the other kids take an interest as well.
Well, I vote now, yeah, so and if my kids were to come and ask me something, I know more now than what I ever did. Like before, I would just be like, I don't know, can't you look up on the internet? Whereas now I know more about it. But whereas before I wouldn't have had a clue, and I would have just told them to Google it.
The highlights of me for the Speak Up course being Parliament, definitely a big one for me. As I say, I did want to vote, but I didn't understand it for a start, so I thought, why get involved in it? I didn't understand, so I sort of avoided the whole situation. And going to Parliament, seeing how it's sort of looking at it, it's just made it more real. It was like, I want to be involved in this, and it was quite exciting as well.
We're on our way to London today with 16 women, all of whom have some connection with the Sure Start centres. We've been running a Speaking Up course now for 2 terms, and as a result of the work we've done with the group, we're now on our way to a day in London at Parliament. We've got a private tour of Parliament to start with, followed by a question and answer session with Ben Bradshaw. Then we're having a workshop in the afternoon, which is part of the Parliamentary Outreach Programme. Now, 1 or 2 of the learners have never been to London before, some have never voted before. They all see this as an amazing opportunity to get involved in the whole process of democracy.
Just to see that Parliament really exists, you hear about it, but you never really go and see it. I'm also really excited to talk to Ben Bradshaw and ask him my question about welfare.
When I came back, as I say, I was phoning my friends and my phone, I was so excited. And talking to my children as well, Corey, I mean, we sat there and we watched all the live debates and things like that, and we was having a conversation, whereas before I'd just put a film on or something like that and be like, oh, you know, but no, I actually sat there wanting to learn and wanting to listen, and then when Corey was asking a question, I could answer them, whereas before I couldn't. So now all my kids, because we took them with us, voting obviously with me and Simon, I got Simon to vote as well when he said he wouldn't, so that was another thing. And then my kids are now saying, we're going to do that when we're older, Mummy, whereas before it wasn't spoke about.
There's a real need and demand really for courses like this as well, I think, because I've had a lot of people ask me about it. I say there's teaching assistants up at the school, there's friends who are doing like counselling courses and things like that. It's very accessible for them. The childcare is free, it's friendly, it's like Ofsteded as well, which I think is really, people just seem to, you know, it's not just like in a little room in the corner somewhere, it's really structured, and the course content is easy to follow. There's not loads of homework, so you can tie it in with doing something else as well.
Having people come in and actually know what we can do, like the magistrates and going to Parliament, even the police force and the local police authority, I did not know anything about that, and it's been an eye-opener really. I am going to do the level 3, and it's opening little pathways, little doors. You know, I'm seriously thinking about either becoming a midwife or doing some sort of thing with the police dogs, and it would be very interesting to get on that side of the police authority. So it's one of the other.
Speaking Up has enabled learners to develop their confidence, assertiveness and communication skills, as well as building their knowledge of citizenship and democracy. In 2010, 2 learners gave a presentation about the importance of funded active learning at a regional Big Society conference to over 200 delegates.
When I went to school, I found it's like, oh, school, we have your children, you don't have anything to do with that. And I thought, I'm sure this isn't right. You know, I can have a say in what my child's education, because that's what I've been taught, and I can do this. And going on the original Speaking Up course, it was so empowering, because it gave you the confidence to actually say, yes, I have a voice, and I will be heard.